Good evening and welcome to UBC News Tonight. Once again with me, Sharon Kyomugisha, but this time around at 10 p.m. And of course, today in our stories, National Resistance Movement party members in Kasambia County, Mubende District have endorsed President Sharon Museveni as the sole candidate for the next general elections. Now, Kasambia Member of Parliament David Kabanda led the rally at Kasambia Playground, drawing hundreds, as you're about to witness from Onyango and Gloria.
The campaign dubbed Buganda for Museveni continues to traverse various districts in the Buganda region. This time round, Kasambia County Ground in Mubende District played host to the gala. Kasambia County Member of Parliament and Patriotic League of Uganda Secretary General Daudi Kabanda spearheaded the campaign.
The Buganda Parliamentary Caucus started a campaign termed as Buganda for Museveni. We are trying to revive the support of NRM in this region. That's why we have been moving around constituencies to introduce this idea to our people.
Led by NRM Buganda Caucus members, the campaign serves as a platform to provide accountability to the electorate regarding the government's achievements.
To our tours around Buganda, the tours so far that we have made have actually given us an opportunity to give accountability to the people that we lead, to the people that we represent. Sometimes we mention things that people do not usually associate to the works of government. When they see such works being done and then you indicate to them how they are attributed to the government of Uganda, people change their perception.
That when you lend me, you expect me to pay back. So we have to lend President Museveni our support. That's what we are doing here. We have to give him our support so that we remind him that, Your Excellency, we've supported you. Stop supporting other regions and you leave us behind. You can see what is happening in the Teso sub-region. Teso has a vice president, Teso has a speaker, Teso has almost everybody. They have 10 ministers. In Greater Mubende we only have 3, and it is by God's grace that we got them, because most of them lost. But it is the president who decided to say, no, even if you lost, let me bring you back. Now, supposedly he had not done that. We are not going to have any minister in Greater Mubende. So we kindly request our people to continue supporting the national resistance movement with its people.
Mubende District continues to grapple with poor road infrastructure. However, Kabanda noted that the long-stalled construction of the Mityana Mubende Road is now back on track following government funding.
The road that starts from Mityana to Mubende, we also have another road here which is due for tarmacking. But the other one, the president recently when I was visiting Mubende, of course he pushed the blame to the Ministry of Works. Others thought he had pushed the blame, but that's the fact. Any road in Uganda has got a period that it has to be reconstructed.
Leaders in Mubende are also focused on ensuring improvements in the health care and education to meet the district's growing demands.
So when we look around, when we look back where we have been and where we are yet to go, we see that the people where we haven't gone yet are very eager to receive us. And so where we have been, people have actually changed their attitudes towards government, looking at what has been done, which they did not previously associate with government.
The event was graced by, among others, NRM Deputy Secretary General Rose Namayanja.
Very grateful, first of all, and encouraged that there is massive support for NRM. We have not been anywhere and we didn't find people ready and responding. Two, we raise issues, or they raise issues, and they have been responded to. The district leadership in all the areas we have gone have raised the issues that have been worked on. The manifesto achievements have been highlighted. Today we are here in Kasambia. The chairman LC5, who is responsible for implementation of programs at the lower level.
Namayanja expressed enthusiasm, affirming that the party is leveling the political ground by organizing such public engagements.
First of all, we have already exceeded our expectations, because given our performance and the level of enthusiasm that we have met in the region, from district to district, from Chiboga to Buvuma to Lwengo to Sembabule to Gomba to Mityana and many others, to Luwero, and here we are in Kasambia.
Following the party's poor performance in Buganda during the 2021 general elections, NRM MPs from Buganda have embarked on the drive to bolster support for President Museveni. Robert Nyango and Gloria Kwitabinji for UBC News.
In more stories, Prime Minister Robina Nabanja has urged Ugandans to take part in the ongoing national ID update exercise after updating her own in Kakumiro. We have a detailed report from Jingo.
The National Identification Card update started this week on 27th May 2025 and is expected to end in November this year. The exercise is being conducted by the National Identification Registration Authority, NIRA. This morning, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, joined the rest of Ugandans to update their national IDs.
Is very important because it has so many important issues it's going to solve.
The Prime Minister explained why Ugandans should embrace this exercise even when your national ID has not expired.
One, we are going to use it during the voter identification exercise so that we can have a free and fair election. And two, the president has insisted that we need to use this updated national identification exercise for us to know the exact number of voters we have.
Recently, the government carried out a national population and housing census, which indicated that Ugandans are 45.9 million. However, the Prime Minister says the national ID update exercise will be able to confirm the results of the just concluded exercise.
This will also help us to compare what we are getting now and what we got during the census exercise. It is going to give us actual numbers of voters in the country. And this will help us to avoid rigging during elections.
She called upon all Ugandans to turn up for the exercise.
It is going to help our people, especially those who had expired identification cards, those who do not have national IDs, to acquire them for easy identification, even when they travel out of the country, especially when you are traveling to East African countries. You only need an identification card for you to move. And so this exercise should be supported by everybody in the country. And this exercise should be supported by all leaders in the country and everybody, because it's very important. Those who don't have identity cards or who have never registered, they don't have identity cards, they don't have even NIN numbers, they are going to be given NIN numbers.
Government has reaffirmed commitment to ending hunger and malnutrition through stronger food systems and nutrition programs. This was during World Nutrition Day in Moroto, reported by Maureen.
Karamoja sub-region has 42% of stunted growth among children, with about 12% under 5 with acute malnutrition, 60% with anemic effects. Karamoja region has high poverty levels of facing insecurity and severe climate shocks, which has been attributed to the higher rates of malnutrition. According to the World Vision's region manager for Northern Uganda and Karamoja sub-region, Edward Kwauha, they have embarked on several programs to address the issue.
Quite a number of interventions in the communities and basically supporting the school feeding program, establishing school gardens, establishing kitchen gardens to ensure that the children have access to nutritious food.
Lawrence Kanakulia, the program's in charge of advocacy, participatory ecology, land use management, PELUM, says government should focus on growing indigenous foods.
There are those underutilized foods, they have their traditional foods, but we have not had a deliberate move to support them to consume these foods to fight issues of malnutrition.
development partners and leaders have also called upon government to invest in mechanization of agriculture and irrigation to improve food security in Karamoja.
Support people of Karamoja sub-region with tractors to promote mechanized agriculture. Mechanized farming is the way to go. Food security by having food reserves, food stores that will help in saving for the future.
When we appeared before the Agriculture Committee in Parliament, we noted to the committee that it is important to support Karamoja in building irrigation system. But the current requirement that farmers must contribute 25% of the cost of equipment for irrigation makes it impossible to have some of those interventions in regions like Karamoja.
Will be given affirmative action instead of them contributing the 25%. If we want to encourage them to do agriculture, to do farming and so on, then we should try as much as possible to remove the co-fund.
They urged government to fast-track the food and nutrition bill in order to improve nutrition in the country.
Kindly ensure it reflects the context and vulnerabilities of Karamoja and institutionalize regional food reserves as provided in Article 22 of the Constitution of Uganda.
After the food and nutrition policy reviewed and passed, it will help in the interventions in investments in food and nutrition and guide all stakeholders in supporting, the food and nutrition.
The Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honorable Nabanja, represented here by Minister for Karamoja Affairs, Peter Likoris, reaffirmed government's commitment towards ending hunger and malnutrition in the country by investing in resilient food systems and supporting community nutrition interventions.
Interventions and last track the passage of the food and nutrition bill, which will provide the legal muscle to protect every Ugandan's right and adequate nutrition.
This was during the World Nutrition Day celebrations held in Moroto Municipality under the theme Empowering Better Nutrition for the People. The function was attended by RDCs, development partners, local leaders, members of parliament from across Karamoja sub-region, among others. Cayenne Faith, Maureen Iga for UBC.
In more news, chaos erupted at a power extension event in Chibuku after activist Dr. Patrick Wakida disrupted proceedings meant to launch electricity at Nandera SS. The project is pledged to President Yoweri Museveni, as you're about to witness.
The Minister of State for Bunyoro Affairs, Jennifer Namuyangu, has thanked President Museveni for fulfilling his pledge of extending electricity to Nandere Senior Secondary School in Kabweri County.
I want to thank President Museveni. He's real. Whenever he promises, he fulfills. Next to Nandere will be the Health Center 3. So we are very, very grateful, and I want to appeal to our people, especially the younger people, to take advantage of the electricity which has come, so that they use it to make money. They should own mills, they should own welding machines.
This was at a function held at Nandere Senior Secondary School at Kabweri County, playground that later turned chaotic when political activists Dr. Patrick Wakida, flanked by bouncers, police officers and PLU supporters, had confrontations with the area MP Mogole Stephen is county. Local leaders described the incident as shocking and embarrassing.
This is a matter I followed up from 2022 to bring power here. It is me with all the letters that has brought power here. This is the government of Uganda which has brought power here. But following a presidential pledge which was brought about by myself when I gathered the students of Nandere and took them to the parish development model launch in Kibuku. And that's when we told the president that this school has performed best for 3 consecutive years, but they don't have power. Honorable Namyangu lobbied for the computers. I lobbied for solar to come here. Those people who are contending, they have been even the chairpersons of board for over 4 years. They have never done anything for Nandere.
Dr. Wakida claimed the events were political and declared himself the current frontrunner.
Nze nasanyuse kuba nalabye abantu bansanyukidde nnyo. Singa mbadde kasajja katontole babadde baagala konsula waggulu. Nabadde musanyufu.
The event was meant to officially deliver power to a remote school which had previously received computers it could not use due to lack of electricity. According to Engineer Abdona Twine from the Ministry of Energy, electrifying the region will spur development.
You would find the performance is not good, but I would expect that performance to improve when we have electricity there. And also students will have liberty on when to read, not to read for 2 hours, then the system is off, then in the morning there is nothing. Those disruptions will be no more. But also there are other areas like water. We are pumping water using solar. So when we have electricity here, we have 2 sources. You use solar, when solar is off, you switch to electricity. So,
as political players prepare for general elections, such scenes are likely, but to the people, it's all about service delivery.
Minister Balam Bargahara is in Namtumba for a youth rally promoting government programs. He urged leaders to ensure accountability, joined by Minister Pasis Namuganza. Details follow.
The minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to evaluating and raising awareness of youth-targeted programs.
To reduce on criminality, we need to ensure these young people are productive. We need to make sure the young, energetic people can work.
He's currently touring various beneficiaries of the Youth Lively program in the district, alongside Minister Pasis Namuganza.
Money was not put to waste. And so having other youth in this group literally means that indirectly they benefited out of that 80 million. So this being a norm of recovery, yeah, you will do as the minister has advised you. But then I want to appreciate you so much
for being hardworking.
For being hardworking.
Balam urged the youth to safeguard government funds allocated to their districts and use the money for its intended purpose.
I was impressed few beneficiaries, those a few that I visited. At least one got 8 million 8 years ago. He has now a total of 14 Frisian cows. He's being too selfish that he's not selling any cow or two to pay back so that the money can benefit other young people. Then another person, I found another group which has pigs. They have close 24 pigs. They have never paid any money from the time they got money. So
he called on district leaders to ensure accountability and that funds reach the intended beneficiaries.
This is a weakness of our leaders, the supervising secretariat and the representatives in the different districts and the community development officers for not following up to ensure that we get payment, we get these refunds, so that the money keeps revolving to benefit other young people.
However, he warned leaders against misusing government resources meant for youth empowerment.
I appeal to everyone, if you are running a youth program, don't steal. This money is for poor youth, poor young people whom we want to get out of poverty. So do not cheat their money and ensure those who received pay back so that others can also benefit from the same amount of money and the same program.
He also noted challenges, including limited funds for evaluation activities.
Those who are interested to work are working, but some districts have corrupt officers, corrupt district officials, who when they receive that money, they keep quiet and create their own ghost groups. That is the campaign I'm on. You wait and hear. What will happen in Namutumba? Trees must fall.
Namutumba district received 1.4 billion between the financial years 2014-2015 and 2023-2024. Of this, only 100 million has been recovered and 244 youth groups have been funded. A total of 2,661 youth have benefited under the Youth Livelihood Program. Sharon Kyomugisha compiled this report for UBC.
Humanities teachers have threatened a strike on June 6th over unsolved salary disparities with their science counterparts. They accuse government of ignoring their repeated petitions, as you're about to witness while Namukose reports.
The Minister for Public Service, Muruli Mukasa, says the government is aware of the arts and humanities teachers' grievances and that discussions are ongoing. He assured that salary harmonization is planned for the next financial year.
And various issues have been raised, but the chief one has been actually the salary enhancement. And this has been a common topic for a number of years now. And the teachers were asking government to effect a salary increment for the humanities teachers this financial year. If not, at least the next financial that is going to begin.
This follows threats by teachers to stage a sit-down strike, citing long-standing grievances over unequal pay.
But we told them that it has been overdue from since 2018, 2019, and from 2022 when they enhanced others and left us not enhanced. If there is no salary enhancement in this financial year of 2025-2026, they are ready to carry on or to continue with their industrial action come 6th of June 2025.
In response, Minister Muruli Mukasa reiterated government's commitment to addressing the issue through phased implementation starting in the next financial cycle.
And since enhancement has been done in most of the sectors now, the sectors remaining are really the humanities teachers and the common cadre staff. So government is committed to really focus on this, not in the next financial year, because it's now a bit late. Priorities have been drawn, appropriation of the budget has been done by Parliament, and definitely now government is now waiting to start a new budget.
Akelo Teopista says the strike is now their last resort in the fight for salary equity.
The president had said to avoid sprinkling, he will be allowing the payments to be made in phases. And the people have been getting the 77%. For the science counterparts who got theirs in 2022, they were given 4 million for the degree holders and 2.2 for the diploma holders. And that is exactly the figures that we are also requesting.
Unless we get a positive feedback from both ministries between today and that 6th June, and it should be very specific, because our request is our salary enhancement must be reflected in the financial year 2025-2026.
The planned industrial action threatens to disrupt learning across the country, with growing calls for government to urgently address the salary disparities. Mary Namkose, UBC News.
The Omingia of Wamba, His Highness Lieutenant Colonel Kamya, has marked 11 years on the Wamba throne with a call for environmental protection. The celebration in Bundibujo drew hundreds, as you're about to watch.
Omingia of Wamba, His Majesty Lieutenant Colonel Martin Ayogi Kamya, has called upon his subjects, the Abanabudingia, to champion environmental conservation, linking recent temperature surges to deforestation. The State Minister for Gender and Social Development, Peace Regis Mutuzo, officiated the celebrations marked by pomp and joy.
akubaire sempere nazekula weka nazekamuka kandi kitakwetagisa bamutule mukyakala lunusibuzoza mukyakala omulimo gwa kasatu gwokukoleza programu za gavumenti n'okusekamu amaanyi kikulu muno okulinga kuba nekumanya financial ya eno gavumenti abahereza ezinga ezijja kulalinga emirimu yanyu.
The Kingdom Prime Minister Bukantwa Charles reported that over 7,000 trees have been planted through a reforestation drive and cautioned politicians against misusing the kingdom's name.
Thank you, Your Highness, for the well-guided theme. Ira, 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 ira. In a bid to achieve today's theme, a tree planting ceremony was officiated by His Highness at Butogo in Kisuba sub-county, and over 7,000 trees have so far been planted.
The enactments of the kingdom's installation ceremonies drew crowds of all ages, preserving the kingdom's rich heritage.
Who are the people to look at development as the major key? Development and investment is very key. We need to embrace the wealth creation initiatives brought forward by the President of the Republic of Uganda, because these ones are going to help our people to fight poverty, which is a problem. Now, my appeal to the cultural institution is to ensure that they join hands with the local governments, the society people, to embrace these wealth creation interventions.
She delivered a presidential message and a 30 million donation from President Yoweri Museveni, urging further investment in education and environment.
Individual, we feel gratitude because the existence of the cultural institution has contributed to the development of the district, the development of the area, culturally, spiritually, politically, and economically. First and foremost, his existence has unified the people of Individual.
The event attracted guests from the DR Congo and Obsinga Warenzururu, reinforcing unity across borders and cultures.
Thank you so much, Helen Gizamba. National Resistance Movement Party leaders in Teso have cautioned the opposition against misleading locals. They were responding to the recent remarks by NUP leader Robert Chagulanyi, as you're about to watch.
Soroti turned yellow as Captain Mike Mukura was welcomed into the city. He was headed to Soroti Sports Ground, where several fellow NRM leaders awaited his arrival. The crowd erupted in celebration as he arrived. Behind the festivities lay a strong message of unity in the Teso sub-region.
I want us today, the people of Teso, to work as one, members of the National Resistance Movement. The elections we carried out should not divide us, but it should unite us, because NRM stands on 4 pillars: patriotism, Pan-Africanism, social and economic transformation, and democracy.
Mukura was joined by several party leaders who echoed support for the party's foundational values. Unity was a key theme ahead of the upcoming NRM SEC elections.
And we shall support him so that Teso and Eastern Uganda can continue to make progress going into the future.
I would have proposed the following: that Dr. Mike Mukula be returned to be Vice Chairman Eastern Uganda for the NRM party. That would be my request. Then I would request my brother Calvin Echodu, because it's very developmental. also to be all of us rally behind him so that he takes Soroti City East.
The event offered a platform for aspiring NRM-SEC leaders to declare their ambitions, including Mukula's former rival, Sanjay Chana.
That to become a vice chairperson, even the one of the region, you must have votes in 147 districts. I won in Eastern, I won in Northern, but then I failed to cover the whole country.
And I want you, if there are any mistakes that I made to anybody, I beg for forgiveness.
I will also need your support to continue serving as the Vice Chairperson, Western Uganda.
Mukula warned NUP leader Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu to stay out of Teso's cattle compensation affairs.
Yesterday, I saw my brother who was here from Nook, Bobby Wine, coming in here to say and to mock the people of Teso with 6 cows. Teso deserves respect. Do not ridicule the intelligence, the integrity, and the pride of our people in Teso. Teso does not deserve 6 cows. And that false statement and agreement that you signed is null and void.
The day ended with entertainment as renowned musician Jose Chameleon thrilled the crowd with a live performance. Henry Okrut, UBC, Soroti.
Thank you so much, Henry, for reporting in Soroti. In more stories, Ugandans have been asked to embrace innovation to drive development. The chairperson Environmental Committee of Parliament, Honorable Silas Algon, made the appeal at the National Appropriate Technology Expo in Kampala.
Government, through various ministries, departments and agencies, is championing technological progress across all sectors by supporting innovations at different stages. The just concluded 3rd National Appropriate Technology and Innovations Expo, held at Lugogo Umasho Ground, showcased a wide range of homegrown technologies and innovations, a testament to the strides made in this space.
Have not paid any money. So this expo was open for free to support them to showcase their products. That's already the hand of government working.
One such innovation is aimed at combating littering in urban areas. Developed by Duncan Bwenje and 4 fellow engineers under Ocean Technologies, the system uses a camera that captures individuals who litter within a 200-meter radius.
And once it sees you doing that action, it will take your picture. And then at the end of the day, we shall post that picture on a public billboard, like the one, for example, on Church House. If your children see you on the billboard that you're the one throwing rubbish on the street, tomorrow you are less likely going to litter again.
The technology also holds potential for integration with existing systems such as traffic surveillance cameras to enhance its effectiveness.
Most technologies are continuous. You keep iterating. Like now, the models are not very accurate. Sometimes we have false positives. Maybe it sees you just bending with your bottle and it takes your picture when you haven't dropped it. So we still need that refining, and it costs us, time. It costs you also resources.
Despite such promising innovations, many remain underutilized due to limited exposure, weak technology transfer mechanisms, and insufficient interaction between developers and end users.
This is one platform that we are using to popularize, to let government know that there is this, the country has in-country good solutions, and these solutions are the ideal solutions for addressing the in-country problems.
While presiding over the Expo, Kumi Municipality Member of Parliament and WASH Forum Chairperson Silas Algon commended local innovators for proving that Uganda is capable of creating solutions to its own challenges.
Yes. He also encouraged Ugandans to embrace these technologies for sustainable development.
We have a market. We have a market. East Africa is now large. Now that even Congo has come in, South Sudan is there. One day they will be peaceful. The market will be there for these products. So what is it that we need to do? Government needs to work together with these students. And they need the support. They need the support of their institutions. Government needs to fund these projects. We need to follow up. Let's not leave them to move alone. Because at the end of the day, I can tell you, we will feel the positive impact once we have got them into our shops. We want to see these technologies in our supermarkets.
Organized by Appropriate Technology Center, a department under the Ministry of Water and Environment, the Expo sought to not only showcase innovations, but also increase their adoption across the country. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Experts at the Africa Potato Conference are pushing for harmonized policies to modernize agriculture through climate-smart technologies. Take a look.
The 5-day conference provided a platform to explore challenges and opportunities within the potato and sweet potato value chains. A major resolution from the forum was the need for investment across the entire value chain, from production to market, as a pathway to enhancing food security and nutrition.
We call upon the African Union, the regional blocs on the continent, development partners, and national governments to, 1, prioritize potato and sweet potato as strategic commodities for food, nutrition, and income security, industrialization, and economic development. 2, strengthen regional platforms for coordination and knowledge sharing.
Speakers from regional economic blocs highlighted the importance of regional coordination and knowledge sharing to unlock the crop's economic and nutritional potential.
So when you combine so many options, none becomes a hazard to the soils. None becomes a hazard to the atmosphere. So he was talking about those combinations. Now, potato plays a very good role in regenerative agriculture. Why? The nature of potato is that we mold the soil first before we plant. Actually, both potato and sweet potato.
The conference coincided with the International Potato Day, aimed at raising awareness of the crop's role in food systems, cultural identity, and economic resilience.
Kano, together with the other seed multipliers, are able to generate the seed quickly for the farmers who already are contracted by SAMs to produce the potatoes that they need for crisping. So that's the kind of, that's how we deliver potatoes. We deliver potatoes to the networks that are connected with processors. We deliver potatoes to the farmer cooperatives.
For potatoes, we have narrow pots. The recent release that was March this year, narrow pot 7, narrow pot 8, narrow pot 9, and narrow pot 10. These are very high yielding and also resistant to late blight. But something special about these varieties, they are good for crisping and also for chipping.
Dr. Namuga emphasized the value of cleaning crop varieties to ensure high-quality disease-free planting materials. Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Over 50 participants showcased exceptional talent at the 6th Quran Recitation competition hosted by the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. Details follow from Jamil Sekaja.
والقادر عليه والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
The 6th edition of Muhammad al-Thadis Foundation of African Ulema Quran competition has been hailed as a great success, strengthening bonds of faith, unity and international cooperation among Muslims. Winners in different categories were celebrated in a joyous, spiritually uplifting event. The competition featured 3 recitation categories: Tatil, Wash and Hafiz.
وفي الآخرة
الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار
ما يشتهون يتنازعون فيها كأسا لا لغو فيها ولا تأثيم ألم تر إلى الذين أوتوا نصيبا من الكتاب.
Notable winners included Hamdan Hussein Uthman Tatil, Sohail Adnan Nkanj, Abdul Hamid Hafiz, Kauthara Mirembe, best in girls category. Dr. Ibrahim Sali gave a historical overview of the foundation established in Morocco under King Mohammed III.
It's carried out in 48 member states, and Uganda is one of the member states. In Uganda, this is our 5th edition, having started in 2020. This is our 5th edition.
President of Foundation is Uganda chapter, Dr. Ibrahim Sali, highlighted its work promoting Quran and Hadith competitions for youth.
The winners will join their counterparts from other countries to compete in the finals that will be held in any of the chosen country. I want to take this opportunity to thank His Majesty the King Mohammed VI, the founder of this foundation, for his tireless efforts to see that he supports it to carry out such programs.
The Deputy Secretary General of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, Muhammad Al-Arma, reminded participants of the Quran's role as a guide.
Congratulations to the winners of the recitation. Palliser leaders want government to expedite war loss compensation, saying that delayed payouts continue to cripple development. Details follow.
The celebration of the belated Women's Day in Palliser was dominated by concerns over the government's delay in compensating Teso communities that lost livestock during the 1986 war.
Our people suffered. Their cattle was taken. Their cattle was stolen during those days, and government pledged to compensate these people. I am also calling upon government to create a budget for these people once and for all.
Some of the animals were eaten by the soldiers. This place here was an army barracks, here where we are standing. So the army could eat some of the animals simply because they were doing the work to safeguard, to bring the security in this place.
Led by Palliser District Woman Member of Parliament Kala Kevin Ojinga, the leaders attributed the persistent poverty in the district to the government's failure to compensate residents whose livestock was taken during the 1986 conflict.
Our people believe in cattle. When a person sees his cows there, he's happy and contented.
Located in North Bukedi, Palliser District has registered high school dropout rates due to parents' inability to support their children's education. Leaders believe that if the livestock hadn't been taken, they would have been able to meet their responsibilities.
Because our animals were raided, and this place's economy was based on the cow. Now, if you are to educate your child, it means you have to have money. Where can we get money?
Kala Kevin Ojinga stated that transformation in Teso communities is anchored in cattle farming. She stressed the need for swift government intervention if Palliser and the Greater Teso sub-region are to regain their former glory.
It's only time I am calling upon government to create a budget. Since we are still in budgeting process, let there be a vote put to this.
President Museveni was scheduled to meet Teso leaders on Friday this week to discuss modalities for compensation to Teso, Lango and Acholi communities, but the meeting was suspended. Richard Oseku, the chairperson of the Bukedi Parliamentary Group, confirmed that Parliament had appropriated funds for compensation and expressed hope that the issue would be amicably resolved.
In the next financial year, we as Parliament have been able to appropriate 80 billion shillings, which is supposed to go towards the cattle compensation.
Bunya South MP James Kubetekeria, who represented Speaker Anita Mong as chief guest, pledged to present the concerns of the locals to the Speaker for action. Muhammad Iga compiled this report for UBC News.
Thank you so much, Muhammad Jiga. South Sudan's envoy to Uganda has praised local efforts supporting refugees during a graduation ceremony at AEX University in Kampala.
Number 19 is. Number 19 is. No.
We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with more stories.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You are now entered a draw to win school fees.
Are you a woman with a small-scale business with a dream of growing it to another level? The GROW Project is here to support you in realizing your dream.
The GROW Project is a government initiative implemented by the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development and Private Sector Foundation Uganda with support from the World Bank.
We support women-owned businesses across the country to gain hands-on and business management skills through training within your location, business financing through grants and affordable loans, and infrastructure in your areas of operation to enable you to increase your productivity.
If you have a business that makes sales of up to 800,000 Uganda shillings per month, the GROW Project has the tools and resources to help you succeed. For more information, contact your district or city GROW focal person or call our toll-free line on 0800 307 777 to learn more about how you can benefit from the GROW Project's services.
The GROW Project, empowering women economically, transforming communities.
This is a short story about you. No, I don't mean that this is you. No, this is not you. This is me. Of course, this can't be you. This can't be you because you think these things of touring Uganda are for rich people. You think these touring things are for people celebrating anniversaries. This can't be you. Because you think to enjoy wildlife, you have to first put in a leave request at work. Chimpanzees are just a 30-minute boat ride from Entebbe. And you get a chance to feed, name a chimpanzee, or even adopt a chimpanzee. You can even actually use this as a rehearsal to see if you can really provide food for another living thing. God gave us a beautiful country on a budget. We don't have to fly there, we are already here. This is ours, uniquely ours.
Thank you so much for still keeping it on UBC TV, inspiring Uganda. In more stories, Ahmadiyya leader Al-Hajj Muhammad Ali Kaire has called for peace and unity at the 11th Annual Youth Convention in Kampala. Take a look as Sudan reports.
It's become an annual tradition. Is designed to bring young people together and encourage them to foster peace and harmony within their communities.
And as such, we see today that modern man has much in place that would make that task easy. We have in place advanced means of contact in the form of modern communication, advanced means of interaction in the form of modern transportation, purposeful congregations, like religious congregations and others, and above all, modern education. With all that in place, one would imagine or suppose that bringing the communities together for a common cause of peace and peaceful coexistence should be obvious and easy.
The convention, held under the theme Bringing People Together for Peace, attracted a wide range of dignitaries, including Minister of Public Service Honorable Muroli Mukasa, religious leaders from different denominations, community leaders, and a large audience of youth and supporters.
We are required not to waver in the pursuit of peace, but rather to always speak the truth, so that when held accountable before God Almighty, we can truthfully claim to have tried saving God's creation from destruction. And so, we humbly call upon every concerned individual to peacefully, truthfully, and courageously advocate for peace within our communities, as taught by our beloved Holy Prophet of Islam, Muhammad Mustafa. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him.
It was acknowledged that while the country is relatively peaceful, there are still gaps in fostering unity, and these must be addressed collectively.
I call upon every youth, every elder, every leader present. Let us be peacemakers, not just peace talkers. Let us be bridges, not barriers. Let us show the world that Ugandans of different faiths can live, work, and flourish together, not despite our differences.
Minister Muroli Mukasa lauded the efforts of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in promoting peace in Uganda.
This theme here, I think at this moment, is quite apt and necessary. We still have to struggle and bring ourselves together for the cause of peace. Yes. And this theme becomes very important because it is being sponsored and championed by the young people from different communities all over the country. So that's very important. Now,
religious leaders from different faiths also graced the event and urged the youth to embrace education and positive values.
In these challenging times, religious leaders must not only preach peace, we must embody it. Our pulpits and our prayer spaces must be sanctuaries of unity.
The gathering, rich in diversity and unity, serves as a reminder that the call for peace is a collective responsibility. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
South Sudan's envoy to Uganda has praised local efforts supporting refugees during a graduation ceremony at AEX University in Kampala. Watch as Jamil Sekaja reports.
Uganda currently hosts over 18 million refugees, 54% of whom are from South Sudan. Many face serious challenges in education, employment and integration due to language barriers, with most speaking Arabic. To address these challenges, AEX International University has been offering free English and entrepreneurship training to equip refugees with essential skills for integration and self-reliance.
This offer is special for only you.
Award Lena, Brahim Anismu, Mahmoud Ibrahim. A certificate of English language at an advanced level. Congratulations. With the government of Uganda, will enable these refugees who are living here to get education so that by the time they go back, they'll be ready for employment in their country. Even while they are still here, this education will enable them to contribute to the economy of this government.
Dr. Ntege also announced a major initiative to offer over 5,000 bursaries, not only to Sudanese refugees, but to all refugees without discrimination.
This training will be happening every year. Now, we have signed an MOU, an agreement with the Sudanese community here, so that we shall be giving them bursaries. These bursaries will not be limited to only the Sudanese refugees, but all refugees in Uganda.
He emphasized the importance of structured refugee support, warning that unstructured refugee management poses risks to all communities.
It is not done, there will be catastrophe in the management of this country. You know, people management is very important. If you don't plan for people management, and if you don't do it effectively, then there will be catastrophe in this country. That is why APEX has come out to work with government in preparing these refugees.
We are deeply grateful to AEX International University and the Uganda government for their generosity and commitment to helping Sudanese refugees. We pledge to continue our support, said Ambassador Katab Ahmed.
Thank you, AEX International, for the effort that they're paying toward the refugees and the Sudanese people, especially over here in Uganda. And we're very proud for our girls over here. They graduated today, and the great effort that they paid, and they started again after a very long journey, only looking to live over here in Uganda with the previous or kind of level that they came from from Sudan. But they need to improve their skills, their language, and every single thing over here.
Dr. Zeriab Muhammad, a Sudanese refugee, thanked university and Uganda government for both asylum and practical support.
Thank you for Ugandan president, Ugandan peoples, and also let me say thank you for AEX International University. AEX International University, you are going behind the Sudanese to help the Sudanese, all the Sudanese community and all the refugees.
Ambantu Machabe Semambo and Jamil Sekaja for UBC News.
Uganda took center stage during Africa Day celebrations in the UK with the diaspora showcasing the country's culture and unity. Enjoy.
Annually, the Africa Day is celebrated at various locations, with those in the United Kingdom choosing end of May. This year's celebrations were at the Novotel in Hammersmith that was transformed into a colorful hub of African culture in celebration of unity and diversity. Uganda, that internationally acclaimed designer Jose Hendo, showcasing her work with the traditional backcloth, stood out for its creativity, authenticity, and flair. The message was that backcloth is part of Uganda's identity and is more than fashion, and incorporates culture, history, and is the future of sustainable design. The Uganda High Commission team, led by His Excellency Nimisha Madvani, offered visitors signature beverages including Uganda Walaji and Kachira sugar products, while displaying the country's tourism potential.
We have come to exhibit, first of all, our wildlife. One time when Her Majesty the Queen sent Winston Churchill to Africa. The flora, the people. Uganda is the Pearl of Africa. So we brought the Pearl of Africa closer to you here today. You can go through Queen Elizabeth National Park, and as you visit the park, you have some of the gin that we are selling locally. We've got the Waraji, the Kachira gin. Coffee is one of the products that we sell. We have quite a number of them that we are offering. And also we are attracting investors to come and invest in our vegetables and fruits. These ones are in the global market now, the dried pineapples and mangoes. So you cannot find them in most of the supermarkets around the UK. We are so grateful to have you. We have a lot of the artifacts that we use, but I would request that you could move and see the clothes that were modeled today from Uganda. Our forefathers never wore these fabrics. They wore backcloth, which was from the back of the trees. So we can let you know the history, a bit of it.
Another Ugandan that caught the attention was Basima Arts and Crafts, that inspired through traditional handwork that included woven baskets to beaded jewelry.
Vipers SC has been crowned the 2025 Stanbic Uganda Cup champions after defeating KCCA FC 2-0, completing a season double for the second time in the club's history. In a highly anticipated final played at the newly built Fufa Kariba Stadium before an electrifying crowd, Vipers took early control of the match with a 5th-minute goal from Livingstone Mulondo that set the tone for the rest of the game. Despite KCCA FC mounting several attempts to turn the tide, they could not match the intensity of the Venoms, who sealed the win with a second goal in the 56th minute, courtesy of Yunus Sentamo. And the victory adds to Vipers' recent StarTimes Uganda Premier League triumph, clinched just 2 weeks ago, marking their second ever season double, the first being in the 2022-2023 campaign. By winning the 2025 Stanbic Uganda Cup, Vipers secures a place in next season's CAF Champions League, while NEC is FC as Cup runners-up qualify for the CAF Confederation Cup. This marks Vipers SC's 4th Stanbic Uganda Cup title. Thank you so much for watching UBC News tonight. We started off at 10 p.m. and it's now 3 minutes past 11. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. From the team and I, have a lovely night. Bye-bye.